and the gang is on the WNBA preview issue of Sports Illustrated. The Fever team, that's right, a lot of reaction coming in. Let's just take a look at the cover right here. Kelsey, Aaliyah, Caitlin, DeWanna Bonner. It's an awesome cover. It really is. I'm not going to even kid you. It's an awesome cover, and there's a lot of reaction to this.
Interestingly, the WNBA shared this themselves, which is worth noting because sometimes you can't predict what they'll do. They're making better efforts to promote their biggest attractions and highlight their top athlete. There are going to be a lot of annoyed people because of this decision. Honestly, I'm ready for all the drama. Let's check out some responses. Someone said they should have included the entire WNBA. People are definitely going to be annoyed. Yeah, someone else mentioned Caitlin Clark's shoes. Her red Kobe shoes are really impressive. I like those a lot.
That's floating in right now from fans, as you can expect. And the WNBA did, to their credit, actually share this because with them, you never know. They've done what I think has been a better job of propping up their biggest star and showcasing their biggest star. Man, there's going to be a lot of hate on this.
More reactions are coming in. Love this. It's sure to upset the critics. The social media managers are going to hear about this. Yep, you know they will. Here's another comment. Why didn't they feature the whole WNBA? That's pretty accurate. Someone else said, this looks great. Let's support the Fever. I mean, this thing is really impressive. Going back to the original announcement, definitely buying this edition. Let's go. Great job. But someone else said, it's mostly about Caitlin Clark with a few others. They miss Sophie Cunningham, which is disappointing, but it's okay.
There's going to be a lot of mad mother effers out there, and I am here for it. I am here for it. Right here, the quote, should have put the whole WNBA on it. People are going to be pissed. They are indeed. Yeah, somebody brought up her shoes she's wearing. Caitlin Clark's shoes are, man, they're sick. Oh, that's red Kobe's. Mambas. Man, I like that. I do.
Another person noted, there wouldn't be a Sports Illustrated cover without Caitlin Clark. Sports Illustrated could probably explain why. Championship season ahead. America's team. We've talked a lot about that on this channel. It's clear now. Who would have thought a couple of years ago that so many mainstream sports fans would start following players in this league? That's why she's on this cover. That's why this team is featured in this magazine, because they're attracting NBA fans, NFL fans, college basketball fans, and even some baseball fans. A lot of people are watching a league they never would have considered before. Seriously.
Little reaction. Love this. They stay making the haters mad. Whoop, they're going to hate the admin for tweeting this one. Yeah, it's, you know good and well, right here, this is great. Kamala. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on the cover? That's about right. That's certainly, absolutely about right.
Another comment, love all four of these athletes. Excited for the whole team. OMG, the Sports Illustrated cover. Other fans are going to be really mad. When can we buy this magazine? I'm not sure when it's out. You might need to go to a real bookstore to get a physical copy because I was thinking of picking one up later today on my way to the gym. I don't really want to drive to a bookstore though, so maybe I'll order it online. Someone else asked, why isn't the whole WNBA on the cover? I see what you mean. Oh man. Yup, definitely getting this issue. Oh, that explains what Kelsey posted on Instagram. I guess she posted something about it. Someone's asking, where's Sophie Cunningham?
Wow. Wow, it's a great look. Let's go, Fever. I mean, this thing is off the chain. Let's go back to the original post. Definitely buying this. Let's effing go. Nice job, but it's the CC show and some cameos. No Sophie Cunningham on here. I'm kind of disappointed by that, but it's all good.
Wow, just wow. Growing the sport's popularity, the first Sports Illustrated issue was in August 1954. When was the last time Sports Illustrated got things right? They've been disappointing most of the time, you know? Yeah, but ultimately it's Caitlin Clark's performance. The whole league is benefiting from Caitlin Clark's performance. As much as critics want to complain, including ESPN and Swoops and other organizations and coaches, you can't deny Caitlin Clark's impact. It's Caitlin Clark's show. Without her, the league would be struggling. Where would they be without her? Oh no, someone mentioned a jinx. No, let's not talk about that. They look ready. Ready for the season. That's right. Fever fans know this. We appreciate Caitlin Clark, but we love the whole team. 2025 WNBA champions. Sports Illustrated is being smart here.
Yes, but there's no SI cover without CC. SI can explain why. Championship season incoming. America's team. That's been something we've been talking about a lot on this channel. I mean, it's very obvious. Who would have thought with the state of the WNBA a couple of years ago that there would be nearly this many.
Smart moves by the Fever Show. They're serious about being competitive this year. This person mentioned the Sports Illustrated cover jinx too. Let's not talk about that. We're definitely avoiding that topic. This person said, viewers only watch for Caitlin Clark. Nice try to get attention for black players who aren't as good. Ouch. It's basically Caitlin Clark's show with a couple of other players. No Sophie on the cover. Many people are asking, where's Sophie? Nice to see this. Some people are misinformed. If Caitlin wasn't playing, their numbers would be way down. Ticket sales would be worse, maybe 70% less. Attendance would be down by 40%. You can't deny how much she's influenced this competition.
Regular lucid sports fans that have joined in to watch anybody play in this league. And that's why she's on this cover. That's why this team is on this cover, because they've brought in the NBA fans. They brought in the NFL fans. They brought in the college basketball fans. Hell, even some baseball fans.
That's the key. You have to attract regular sports fans and fans from other sports to watch your event instead. It makes good business sense. The cover looks great. I might buy this magazine and frame it or something. That would be cool, I think.
A lot of people are checking out a league they never in a million years would have watched a couple of years ago. I mean, seriously. Love all four of these ladies. Excited for the whole team and the coaches. OMG, the Sports Illustrated cover. Those other fans, are about to be fuming. When is the magazine purchasable? I don't know when this magazine comes out. And I was trying to think.
The Wall Street Journal finally admitted what everyone knows. It's reached the point where the big boss is claiming Caitlin Clark is the most beloved athlete across America. Most beloved athlete in America, not just a player. I disagree with this claim. I disagree with that take. As long as Steph Curry is still shooting hoops, there's really no debate. Oh wait, she's saying most popular athlete in the US. I still pick Steph. I still consider Steph at the top. But all right, fair enough.
You come right off of the college experience, so she had no downtime in between. How much better is she in year two?
Great minds think alike. When people think about, sophomore year, typically in college, you're like, oh, there's going to be a sophomore slump. Nope.
I was about to mention that as long as Cristiano Ronaldo is kicking soccer balls, as long as cricket exists as a sport, she's not at the top worldwide. As long as Formula 1 exists as a sport, she's definitely not leading globally. If you aren't aware, cricket and F1 are watched more than basketball internationally. But anyway, let's check this out. The Wall Street Journal says, put every Caitlin Clark game on major networks. TV executives admit they'd air 17 Dallas Cowboys games regardless of their performance. They could be losing and networks would still broadcast them. It's crazy but factual. They attract viewers.
Negative for Caitlin Clark, it's going to be a sophomore jump. She's already made history. She set the single season assist record as a rookie. She averaged 19. She was all WNBA. Now she just has to win. And I think that's, a lot of people are going to say, oh, what is she going to do for other people? What are the other people going to do for her? They're going to free her up in a way that she's not dealing with crazy double teams and traps. Now she can be her best self. And that's why you look at the betting the odds, people predict her, if her team wins, to be an MVP favorite.
Yes, and of course, those things tend to get skewed also by her star power.
Obviously, the WNBA has its own situation. They had 22 regular season broadcasts exceeding 1 million viewers. First time since 2008, a WNBA broadcast topped 1 million viewers. Adding the All-Star event makes 24 broadcasts above 1 million viewers. About 21 or 22 of those 24 broadcasts. And if you're not following, besides that, 2 of the remaining 3 broadcasts were either before or after Caitlin Clark games on the same channel. They were lead-ins. Caitlin Clark versus Brazil's team had 1.3 million watching. That's incredible versus Brazil's national squad. The viewership nearly matched NBA games like the Cavaliers after Irving left. It almost reached the numbers of major NBA moments.
So the New York Times said the quiet part out loud. Like, it's gotten to the stage now where, you know, the commissioner is talking about Caitlin Clark being the most popular athlete in the world. Most popular athlete in the world, not the player. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that statement. As long as Cristiano Ronaldo was kicking a football, there's no even argument. Oh, sorry. Say she's the most popular athlete in America.
It's fine acknowledging the WNBA has great players like the current MVP and stars like Stewie and Fee, but regarding public attention, one player stands above everyone else. Number 22 for Indiana. Their coach compared Clark's popularity to Taylor Swift, and that's accurate. That's spot on. They're saying Caitlin Clark helps attract casual viewers, which helps sports leagues grow. The more people watch Indiana, the higher the league's average viewership. Higher viewership means more bargaining power for players. But some say it's unfair. That's not right. That's inappropriate.
I still go Steph. I still put Steph there, but okay, fair enough. I was about to say, as long as Cristiano Ronaldo's kicking a ball, as long as cricket exists as a sport, she's not there top in the world. As long as F1 exists as a sport, she's definitely not top in the world. If you guys don't know, cricket and F1 are more watched than basketball sports. But yeah, so let's take a look at this. So the New York Times, here's a WNBA tip: put every Caitlin Clark game on national television. If NBC has their choice, we would do 17 Cowboy games. Collinsworth admitted. I'm not kidding. It doesn't even matter what their record is. They could be 4-6 and we take them. It's insanity, but it's true. They draw the ratings.
You've got players claiming it's not fair Indiana gets the most national coverage. Though she was kind of pushed into answering that question. And then social media critics saying Clark's impact? Aja Wilson exists too. Sorry, but Aja Wilson has practically zero impact on viewership. Is Aja better than Caitlin as a player? Probably. But people tune in for Caitlin Clark. Let's be honest, there's a hierarchy of draws. It's Caitlin miles ahead at the top. Then comes the New York Liberty. You could argue maybe Sabrina individually, but fans watch Liberty because they play excellent basketball. They're based in New York, and until this season with what the Knicks are doing, they've been the only successful basketball team in New York for ages.
Obviously, WNBA has its own team. They had 22 regular season games that averaged more than 1 million viewers. First time since 2008 that a WNBA game topped 1 million viewers. If you add in the All-Star game, it makes 24 events top 1 million viewers. 21 to 24 of those 24 windows. And if you guys don't understand, not only that, 2 of the other 3 games were lead-ups.
Who else attracts viewers? Nobody really. If we're being truthful, maybe Las Vegas gets some attention after that. But perhaps the only time Vegas drew significant numbers last year was when appearing before Indiana's games. Like when Vegas played Chicago, they had solid viewership against Chicago, and numbers peaked because Indiana was playing immediately afterward.
Like, it was game 5 of the finals, and 2 of them were lead-ups to Caitlin Clark games, or games immediately following Caitlin Clark games on the same network. They were lead-ups. Caitlin Clark versus the Brazil national team had 1.3 million viewers. That's mental. Versus the Brazil national team. Between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Bulls, it had almost as many as the Cavs, their first game without Kyrie Irving.
The game always peaked toward the end. It was exciting down the stretch. Obviously, Kennedy hit that clutch shot and Aja made the game winner, but realistically, they faced Chicago multiple times last year, sometimes on national TV. The broadcast that had the impressive viewership, not even that impressive actually, the one exceeding million viewers, came right before Caitlin Clark played. I can't even recall who Caitlin was facing. Maybe Atlanta? Off the top of my head, I'm guessing the Atlanta Dream.
It had almost as many, well, it didn't have almost as many as LeBron's first game for the Lakers. That's a different one. It's okay to acknowledge the WNBA has transcended basketball players such as reigning MVP, Aja, and obviously Fee and Stewie. But when it comes to public interest, one star rises above all. She wears 22 for the Indiana Fever. Coach Sammy White called the interest in Clark Taylor Swift 2.0. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Like, they're saying Caitlin Clark helps the league bring in casual fans, which has sports leagues grow. The more people see the Fever, the higher league's viewership average. The higher the viewership average is, the more power the players possess in collective bargaining. But, it's not fair, though.
Let me actually verify that. Would be pretty amazing if I'm correct. I don't think I can confirm it, though. I'll try checking. I'll look up Aja's game log. If I'm right about this, everyone calling me Goldfish Brain needs to apologize. The number of people thinking I have terrible memory, I just get flustered occasionally. So Vegas played Chicago in that close game on August 25th. I don't believe they faced Atlanta on August 25th. Might have been the overtime contest. Let's check the game log for the truth. August 25th, Minnesota. Oh no, they played Atlanta 2 days later. I was literally about to say, was it Minnesota when the Lynx beat them in the fourth? Damn, almost had it. Was close. Just off by 2 days with my Atlanta guess. The overtime game. But obviously these games connected to each other.
And you've got people there. You got the rage bait people on social media saying Caitlin Clark's impact. Aja Wilson exists too. I'm sorry, Aja Wilson has absolutely zero impact on viewership. Like, is Aja Wilson better than Caitlin Clark? Probably. But like, people are watching for Caitlin Clark. And we can be honest. Like, there are hierarchies of draws. It is Caitlin by a mile at the top. Then there is the New York Liberty. And it's, you could argue maybe even Sabrina, but people watch the Liberty to watch the Liberty because they play good ball.
I think the WNBA should stop trying to avoid the obvious truth. Stop attempting to not hurt players' feelings. Should Caitlin Clark get special treatment as a player? No. Regarding competition, should opponents want to defeat her? Absolutely. But ultimately, it's crystal clear the league follows Caitlin's path. The sport follows wherever Caitlin Clark goes. Many people are deliberately ignoring this reality. They're covering their ears and yelling loudly. Actually, they're not yelling random sounds. They're shouting Aja repeatedly with fingers in their ears.
They play good ball. They're in New York, and up until this year, what the Knicks are doing, they've been the only successful basketball team in New York in a long, long time. Then, who else is a big draw? Nobody else, if we're honest. Maybe the Aces are.
What they're doing is they're just not even acknowledging reality. They're trying to win some imaginary argument like, oh, attention doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't impact winning championship, but when trying to claim the league is significant beyond Caitlin Clark, or that she's not the biggest attraction, which some foolish people actually attempt, you need evidence. You need something supporting that statement, especially when it's completely false.
But she has a real shot. So let's do a WNBA watch. With apologies to Wendy, we will do the WNBA watch. Good. I like it. Fingers in the air. Let's start with the Liberty. They won the championship last year. Are they the favorite to repeat?
I think they absolutely are, because they're a team that kept their core pieces but also added a couple more. Natasha Cloud at the point guard position, someone that plays like a dog defensively. And of course, I say defensively because this is where the team improved, which is wild. Think about this. JJ in the center, she's 6'6". Stewie's got like a 7-foot wingspan. Now you have Sabrina, you have Natasha Cloud on the outside, Leonie Fibish.
What they're doing is they're just not even acknowledging reality. They're trying to win some imaginary argument like, oh, attention doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't impact winning championship, but when trying to claim the league is significant beyond Caitlin Clark, or that she's not the biggest attraction, which some foolish people actually attempt, you need evidence. You need something supporting that statement, especially when it's completely false.
Caitlin Clark, way back here at the back. I mean, the literal face of your league, way back here at the back. I mean, that's... I literally just bragged on the WNBA earlier about how they were doing a better job of recognizing Caitlin Clark this year.
I mean, the actual star of your competition hidden in the background, that's I literally just complimented the WNBA earlier about how they were doing a better job acknowledging Caitlin Clark this season. Come on now, what a disappointment. What a complete mess up. I've mentioned she should be prominently featured on every piece of marketing and advertisements. Caitlin Clark should represent this competition. Trust me on this. The emblem would have already transformed to her silhouette as a symbol. Just informing you that's how this ought to be managed.
I mean, come on. What a failure. What a total failure. I've said she'd be front and center on every piece of everything, propaganda and commercials. Caitlin Clark would be the face of this league. You better believe it. The logo would have already changed to her silhouette.
For context, WNBA general managers answered 40 different questions about top squads, athletes, trainers, and off-season changes. General managers weren't allowed to vote for their own squad or staff members. All right, let's proceed. Notice that text right there? That says Angel Reese on it. That's from using the search function to locate her name.